What's up, everybody? All right, so it's your favorite host, psychic medium, me. Just kidding. All right, so let's talk about it. I hope everybody had a really good week. I know that last week was kind of a short time because I was in Jamaica and my internet was kind of shitty. So I know I had talked about a little bit about the energy that I was seeing when I was down there. But we did get some really great pictures of some soldiers and a lady in white who I had talked about initially. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, I hope you guys are having an awesome week. And I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight about the release after we talk about transformation, and we've been talking about the awakening process and the journey and going through really just the process. And we've been talking about that for, well, I've been talking about it for a couple of years now. And I feel like first I want to apologize a little bit. I know that my podcast hasn't been amazing. I've been really trying to change up my business and change up what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to do it and where I want to be and where I want to go. And as I've been going through this transformation process and as I've been going through this healing transformation, it's really leading me to places that I really have been drawn to since I was younger. So I feel like as I'm going through this process, it's sorry, my cat just jumped on the computer. So as I've been going through this process, it's like I know I've been talking about the transformation and what we do as we're going through the transformation, as we shed, as we release parts of us that are no longer needed or no longer serve us, to be able to bring in what does serve us and what is there for us on the other side. And I feel like a lot of times we don't talk about what's on the other side of it because I think we get stuck in the part of not going through the transformation fully. And I know that Jules and Brian and I are working on a Reiki healing retreat together in Puerto Rico. And I know that I'm doing one solo, but I'm also working on the collaboration with Brian and Julie. And we were talking about what we wanted to do for like workshops. And we were talking about what happens after the release. Because again, we don't really talk about that because I feel like as we are going through the transformation, we're talking more about that and more about how it feels and that it's hard and it's not easy. But let's talk about the other side of the transformation because I feel like for me, I feel like I'm finally there and I feel like I'm finally on the other side of that transformation, whatever that is. And I believe that we have many transformations in this life, but for me specifically, I know that I've just gone through a huge one. And I know that a lot of other people are going through really big transformations as well. And those big transformations really can be, sorry, my cat's like being crazy with my computer. The other side of transformation is really all about getting what you want and getting what you've been manifesting and getting, the affirmations that you've been saying for so long. And when you finally make it through that transition, on the other side of it is really love, is unconditional love. And it's love that you're going to find for yourself. It's love that you're going to find that people are giving you, that the universe is giving you, that really it's just all of the opportunities that you work for and that you manifest are on the other side of that transformation. um, so I just want to just tell you like to keep going, because the more that you keep pushing yourself and the more that you keep releasing what doesn't feel good and what doesn't serve you, the more that you're going to bring in pieces of you that you've been working towards. It might not be all at one time, but if you can recognize the signs and symbols and the fulfillment that you're getting in the space and time now, you can start to understand that there's more and more and more. I think that we just get stuck in that it's hard, it's not easy. And a lot of times when it's not easy, we like to give up. So it's, on that other side is fulfillment. And, you know, I just did this retreat in Jamaica, and the day that everybody left, it was pretty somber. And I feel like when the next day, the next morning at sunrise, there was a clear eyeball in the sky looking at me. There was a cloud that created a figure eight. It was almost like the universe was letting me know that it's time, and it's time to step into the power. And I feel like it's not just me, it's time for everybody. So with, this eclipse coming up, with Libra season coming up, it's the perfect opportunity to be able to say, this is what I want, and this is what I've been working for, and to put the effort into making it happen, right? Because we can say we want this or we want that, but if you're not putting the work into it, it will never happen. It's not just going to fall into your lap, right? You have to put the work in, you have to put the energy in, you have to put the faith in, and the trust in the process. Because if it's not happening in a timely manner of what you want it to happen, it's because the universe isn't ready to give it to you. Maybe there's something that you still need to learn. Maybe there's something that you need to appreciate in this space and time now. Because if we're not appreciative of what we have in the space and time now, we're definitely not going to get the blessings from the universe to go forward, right? It's all about space and time now, and really releasing any expectations that you have. Once you have expectations, the expectations leave a lot of room for let down, for disappointment, for anything that isn't a high vibration, or anything that is not, um, you know, a love vibration, because love is the highest vibration. And I think that once you start to trust yourself and trust the process and really work towards what you want, instead of saying, oh, I can't have that because it's too expensive, or I can't go there because of this or this or that, or I can't or I can't, you have to really change that mindset and put it into, how can I create this for myself, or how can I make this happen for myself? Because again, love is the highest vibration. And if you can love yourself from within, you can love on the outside. And when you're loving yourself fully on the inside and loving yourself on the outside, what it's going to do is it's going to attract love, right? Because of laws of attraction. What you give is what you get. So if you're giving love not only to yourself, but to others through knowledge, through wisdom, through helping them in any way that you can, you're going to get that love back. And really, on that other side of the release is love. It's allowing yourself to lift those self limitations that you've put on yourself um, through programming, through school, through jobs, through life. It's really about releasing all of that and saying, instead of I can't, or making excuses for tomorrow, it's really now. Now is the time to put everything into place. And all of the planets are allowing you to do that. It's really the next 7 years that you're going to be able to see this great awakening, and really all of your manifestations starting to become tangible now. So if you've ever, had the opportunity to say, I'm going to work on myself, it's right now. It's literally right now. The universe is saying, hey, it's ascension time. And if you're willing to put in the work and willing to share your story and your knowledge and wisdom and your kindness, then you're going to raise your vibration, and you are going to hit that high vibration of ascension. And then it's really peace, love, and harmony is up here, right? So on the other side of the release, um, is love, and it's unconditional. Um, you have to go through the hardship to get the fruits. You have to crawl before you can walk. You have to acknowledge before you get. And I think a lot of times we get stuck in the pain and in the hardship that we say, it's same shit, different day, same shit, different day. So if you can allow yourself to not feel like it's the same shit, different day, you can allow yourself a new experience in a new day. Because every day when you wake up, you're literally giving a grand rising, a new opportunity to create something beautiful, to help somebody, to release something inside of you that is holding you back from your dreams, from your inspirations, because it's only going to be you that creates that, and it's only going to be you that has your own desires and your own goals that you're trying to reach. It's not anybody else, it's you. So once you can allow yourself in the mindset to say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get there, that's what you have to do. And you can't expect anybody else to do that for you. You have to do it yourself. Hi, Raymond. So it's, it's easy to sit here and say, okay, self-love this or self-love that, or transformation this or transformation that. But when you allow yourself to do things that makes you happy, instead of saying, okay, if I go to the beach today, it's gonna hurt so-and-so's feelings because they can't go to the beach. Well, maybe it's not their destiny or their journey to go to the beach that day. And, I feel like a lot of times as empaths, right? Because everybody who's watching or tunes in or rewatches is definitely an empath. It's laws of attraction. So a lot of times as empaths, we like to people please and do things that, might not make us feel good, but it will make the other people feel good, or make it more comfortable for somebody else because you're holding back your true feelings or your true self. And I think that once you go through that release, you no longer say, I'm going to do this because it makes this person feel more comfortable. No, you're going to say, I'm going to do this because it makes me feel comfortable. And, as long as you're living in true intentions or pure love, you're not going to have to worry about saying no, because it's not of ill intent. It's not because you want to hurt somebody. It's because you want to protect your own energy. And I think that when you're on that other side of the release, it's no longer a question of protecting your own energy. And when you're protecting your own energy, you're raising your vibration, because you're not allowing anybody else or any other energies take that away from you. I think that it's emotional. I think that the first week specifically after the release, there's a lot of tears. There's a lot of, it's kind of a weird parallel, because once you get on the other side of the release, it's like you start questioning a lot more shit. You're like, you're like, that tree looks weird. You're like, that tree looks different. Like, I think I need to hug that tree. Or like, just in general, everything starts to look different. Your house, your apartment, your clothes, your friendships, your, I don't know, just everything really starts to look different, and you start to really see, what's for you and what's not for you. Because as the new earth comes down and the new and the ascension happens, right, there's a division, and the division is consciousness. It's not a real division. There's not two earths happening. It's a division in consciousness. So it's high consciousness, high vibration, and low consciousness, low vibration. And that's why you're going to see a clear separation, a clear indication of flow, love and light, and hate, and division, like that. And I think that once you finally do a big release, because it's not going to be releasing everything, you're not just going to say, I'm going through this transformation and boom, I'm done releasing. Like, we're here on earth at a school, right? This earth is a school. So as long as we're here, we are going to be going through transformation. We're going to be learning lessons. We're going to be releasing, and we're going to be getting on the other side of the release. And then some other shit's going to come up. And then it's just a big circle of releasing, accepting, and ascending, if you choose to do that, right? So I think that the first week or two after you go through that one big transformation, it's gonna be emotional. You're gonna cry a lot. You're gonna feel like you want to cry. You probably will cry and be like, what the fuck am I crying for? I have no idea. But what it's doing is, I think that it's recentering, it's realigning to the new higher vibration. Maybe it's clearing out energy that is just left a little bit, because sometimes we hold a little bit of the energy even though we're going through the transformation, even though we've gone through transformation. Every day there's still new stuff that comes up, and especially as empaths, we're getting the energy through our heart space and we're pushing it down into our solar plexus, into our sacral, into our gut. So it's important for us as empaths to, to be able to release that energy. And I think that this week that we had at the Lamoon in Jamaica, with the retreat that we just hosted, it's like there was a lot of transformation. There was a lot of releasing. We spent a lot of time in the water, a lot of time in the ocean, and the ocean is a natural release. So it's, you can use nature to help you in this process. You don't have to feel like you're going through this alone. You don't have to feel like nobody else is going through it. You don't have to feel like you don't have support in what you're going through, because even though everybody's journey looks different and all of the energy, it looks different and feels different to everybody, we're all going through some shit, right? We're all going through the same thing. So if you can use nature, if you can use elements that help you, like, okay, so we're going to use water to release, right? We're going to use earth to ground, right? So it's, you take the water aspect and you go for a release or a healing retreat, and you use the water to help move that energy, to help release that. I know a lot of times when I do meditations at the water, or I go to the water, really I cry a lot, because it's just, it's unconditional love, and the ocean shows you how you can release and how you can bring in new opportunity and new energy, even if you're scared, right? Because that scare, that fear is just a trigger for something that maybe you haven't released yet, or you haven't been able to acknowledge that because it was really deep, right? Again, this is going to be something that we're going to do all the time. If you're committed to your healing journey, you're going to continuously go through these transformations. What happens is that you'll just recognize that it gets not easier per se, but easier per se. Like you start to recognize, okay, this is the lesson, instead of being like, why is this happening? It's like, okay, how can I apply this to my life so that I don't have to go through this lesson again, or I don't have to feel this pain again in such a deep way? Because again, we feel pain so that we can change things. Because if we never felt pain, we would just stay in the same circle of same shit, different day, which is not the purpose of us being here. So, yeah, a lot of just, really great vibes. And I think that once you're on the other side as well, and once you get through like the emotional stage, you start to have a lot of clarity, right? Your third eye is just like beaming with like fucking life, right? This all this purple, right? And once you have like clarity in your third eye, then you say, okay, I know where I need to be, I know what I need to do, I know what my purpose is, I know where I belong. And then you start doing little reachable goals to get to where you belong, to get your goals in action, to get things going. And then you start to see all of the stuff fall into place. And then you're like, oh shit. And then you're like, okay, it's a road, right? It's a sign, it's a symbol. I'm applying it, I'm doing it. I'm, you know, on this journey and accepting it for what it is, without limitations and without expectations. And so as you start to do that, you start to see that everything is a sign and symbol. And, I talk every single Friday about signs and symbols, and how it really is a projection of laying the road down for you and bringing you to where you want to be and to what you want to do. Because remember, the universe is within inside of you. God is within inside of you. So it's not something that is external, it's all internal. So if you can find that faith and that self love and that understanding that you can do whatever you want in this life, um, you can start to make it happen. And the biggest thing is to believe in yourself and to believe that the universe will never reward you with something and then take it away from you. It's if you give up on yourself or you give up on what you're trying to do, that it might fizzle away because you're not giving the energy or the expectations of what you're trying to do to whatever you're trying to do. Um, if I had just stopped Starship, it would have just fizzled out. But you just keep pushing through, because I know for me that Starship is my purpose. And my purpose as Alicia is Starship, right? It's to get knowledge and wisdom and downloads and then share them. It's because we're all going through it. We're all going through the same shit. We're all going through the same awakening process. And it's scary and it's intimidating and it's nerve wracking and it's a lot of things. And I think that if we just know that we're in it together and that it's all about you and a reflection of your own self, that we can make this world a better place if you just work on yourself and let everything else fall into place. Because remember, when people are talking to you, it's a direct reflection about how they feel about themselves. So if someone's talking shit to you, it has nothing to do with you. It's about how they feel about themselves. But it could trigger something inside of you that makes you fight back or makes you feel a way. So you have to figure out what that trigger is so that you can understand those emotions so that you can release them, right? And then you can move on. Because again, that energy will no longer serve you. And for a lot of you, you might have even started to notice that maybe your whole group has fallen off. Maybe everything that you had been manifesting fucking fell off. Maybe you're starting to see, like, probably in the last 2 months, really a lot of things fall off. People, places, things, um, even passings. You might in the past couple of months have seen animals pass or people pass, because what's happening is that you know everything is going out so that everything can come in. And I think we get stuck in the grief, and I think we get stuck in the why, instead of the how, right? Because if we know that death is not the ending. It's really the beginning. It's infinite, right? We don't really die. We just move on from our physical being, right? So I think that if you believe in yourself and you work on your self love and you work on what your fears are and you work on, believing in yourself, I really do. And I know, I can't say I think, I know that you'll start to see what you're trying to do come into your life, right? Because you can have everything that you desire. You can have love. You can have abundance. You can have wealth. You can have great health. You can have all of these things. You just have to believe it, and you have to believe in yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to believe in you as much as you need to believe in you. And I've always said, like, I feel like from the beginning, that a lot of times when I first started this and I said, you have to love yourself most, even more than your children, more than your pets, more than your favorite thing on earth, right? Because if you don't love yourself at the most and fulfill yourself at the highest capacity, how are you supposed to love at the highest capacity? How are you supposed to say, I love you, if you don't love yourself? You have to work on that. You have to say, fall in love with yourself and be okay with hanging out with yourself or spending time with yourself, because you're born in here with yourself and you leave here with yourself and your guides, of course. But to attract everything that you want in this life, Remember, it comes from within here first, within your heart space. So you have to allow your heart space to be open and to be big and to be bright and to be accepting without limitations. And I think that we get stuck in those limitations of excuses or self-worth or programming like that. So I think that once you can work on that and release those things, then you can say, I can do this. I can get here. You'll start to see the universe blessing you with abundance when you need it. You might not have $1 million in the bank, but when you need it, it's going to be there, right? It's not about stockpiling anything. It's about going with flow. The more stockpiling of shit that you do, the more psychic weight you're going to have. The more psychic weight you have, the longer waiting period you have for your manifestations to become tangible, which means if you are having all this stuff hold you down, it means that it's going to be a long time before you get what you're wanting, what you're trying to do. So if you can release all of that stuff that holds you down, then it's quick, it's flow. You can think about it, you can receive it, you give thanks, you apply it, and then you move on to the next thing. It can be easy. However, you have to get through that total transformation and you have to get to that other side. And the whole total transformation time comes from within. So you can decide if you want to have your total transformation take a very long time or if you want it to take a short amount of time. It all depends on you. It has nothing to do with anybody else on the outside. Everything that you want and everything that you desire, you can have. You just have to believe in it and you have to work on it for yourself, right? If you want this energy to move and you just sit there, that energy is not going to move. But if you want that energy to move and you put that work into that energy, the energy is going to move. What happens when energy moves? You get blessed, right? So my advice is to not sit on your pain. My advice would be to release your pain. How do we turn our pain into power? We do it by we do it by writing. Writing really helps you release those energies that are stuck in there, that are in your heart space, that are in your solar plexus, that are in your sacral, right? That are in your root. Writing will help you almost navigate your feelings. It will help navigate what you're trying to do, what you're trying to release. It doesn't come in one time. I've been working on my total transformation for about 14 years. And I'm just now really starting to see everything that I've been working on, everything that I've been putting into place become tangible. And it's magic. It's beautiful. I know for me, I'm starting to not just see my life change, but my physical appearance is changing. Just everything in my whole life is changing. And I'm trying not to resist it. I'm trying to just go with the flow because I know that it's everything that I ever wanted. And it's happening now. And you can have it too. You just have to believe in yourself. You can have whatever you want. You just have to believe in yourself. So I love you guys so much. I just got back early this morning from Jamaica. So I'm exhausted, but I think it's important to get on here and share not only my story, but everybody who comes to me for readings and for Reiki and for advice. I just think that we're all headed in the same direction, which is up. So just don't give up on yourself and keep manifesting, keep writing down your goals, keep writing down where you want to be and what you want to do. Get Reiki trained, do things for yourself that are going to bring you to a higher vibration. Work on, taking classes, learning, learn about what you love, learn about what makes you happy, and do those things regardless about what anybody says around you. Because at the end of the day, what's important is you and how you feel and how you're living your life. Even if it's totally unconventional, Who cares? If it fulfills your heart space and fulfills your energy, do it. Okay? Do it. I'm also going to post some pictures on my Facebook page. We did get some crazy pictures. We were staying on the battle site, of course. I talked about this. It was the last battle site in Jamaica to see who was going to win over the Spanish or the British. And we did take our voice box out and got some crazy, crazy voice stuff. We got Spanish speaking, we got English speaking, we got Chinese speaking. It was crazy. There was a point where I said, "Is there an English soldier here?" And it clearly said British. And I was like, my bad. And then later that night, we were sitting on the balcony and looking at the site, and I clearly saw a soldier. And I said, "Does anybody else see that?" And of course, nobody saw it. So I took a picture, and we got a soldier in a blue uniform, which is really cool. He has all this facial hair. And then we did get what appears to be an Oriental woman in a white dress with black hair. We did get some faces and full bodies that looked like they were in a ditch. So I will post all the pictures that I got on my Facebook page. So stay tuned for that. I'll make a cool reel. But it was really amazing. And the opportunity to go back to Jamaica, where it kind of all started for me, and wrap it up, um, to have a new beginning, is pretty special and pretty amazing. So, my message tonight is to never give up on your dreams and never give up on yourself, and always go for your dreams, because only you can create it. Yeah. So I hope you guys have a great evening, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and thank you. And I hope you guys have a blessed evening. I also, on my Facebook page, have put up a fundraiser. A very important family in Jamaica does not have a roof on their house. So I am raising money to build a roof for them. So if you're interested in donating, you can Venmo or PayPal. All that stuff is on my Facebook page. And everybody who does donate, I will enter to win a free Reiki session. So we're out here to help other people and to make sure that we keep continuing to raise the vibration. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you have a blessed evening. Take care. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.